Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about my second favorite thing, Christmas houses. Next to Christmas ornaments are my first. Um, I love buying them. I like selling them. They're fun and they're always surprising sometimes with prices. So I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite brands that I pick up. Let me know in the comments if there's any other brands that you like or that you actually pick up because they're worth money that I'm not tracking. So let's start off with kind of one a lot of people know, Hawthorne Village. A lot of these are sold on like Amazon. They are Thomas Kincaid. They like make a village or a set of something every year, release it, and then they make a new one the next year. And so a lot of people collect them and make a whole big set out of them. So when I see them, I can usually get in the $20 range for a Hawthorne Village. So you want to keep your buying of them to around like $5 or something, unless you're getting ones that are like new in box, never opened or something like that. But yeah, $20 to $25 for most of their houses, unless you get into a certain like village like Rudolph or something. Those ones go for a little more, but your Hawthorne villages are pretty standard, just $20, $25 range houses. The next up is Colonial Village. So these are like really kind of old ones. They're pretty cool. They look like what the original Department 56 houses look like. That ceramic look to them, kind of dull paint. These ones also sell in the $20 to $30 range for them, but they sell pretty consistently. They don't really make them anymore, so you can only add to your village or replace ones by buying the vintage ones. So these are good pickup, and nobody really pays attention to them as much. So they're actually really easy to get for $5 to $10 at yard sales, estate sales, that kind of thing. And these ones are from Village Square. So these are like a Mervyn's brand one. They were kind of collectible during a time period, and once again, they don't make them anymore. So if you have this set, you have to buy an older one to add to it or keep with it. I pre-pack all my stuff so that when I go to pack them, they're already in there with the bubble wrap. So this one's pretty cool. These ones sell, again, 20 something dollar range for them. I can usually get these at the thrift store for like $3 to $5, which is a pretty good flip on them. People don't pay attention to them as much. They know they're vintage, but they're not as collectible as like a Department 56 house, so they don't go as fast. And then, of course, the two big brands for me are Department 56 and Lemax. So Department 56 is kind of all over the place. So your North Pole series houses, they're actually the low end of the Department 56. So if you see a North Pole series, just know the houses are going to sell in the $20 to $30 range. Some even go down into $15 if they're the smaller houses. They have like more of a cartoony kind of look to them. So they're going to be more of your low end, so you don't want to spend a ton on them if you're buying them. You want to buy them in the $5 range usually, unless you lend one and it's worth a little more, but you don't want to spend a lot on them. But in the same thing with Department 56, the Christmas in the City are kind of your high-end ones. These ones go for a lot more. They go for like $200-300 a house for some of them. They're special editions. So this one is the Times Tower. This ball actually drops down and like all these things light up on it, and it's pretty cool. This one's in the $200 range, and so sometimes you'll end up paying more for these. Or if somebody's at a yard sale or an estate sale and they have a whole bunch of Department 56 and they have them all listed for $10 to $20, just know to skip any of the North Pole series. Look for the Christmas in the City series because they would be worth paying $20 for most of the time. You would want to lens it and make sure it's one of those. But that's the one that you want. Any of them that are unique, like White Castle. I just sold a White Castle one. I just sold an Elvis Presley one. Those ones are a little more unique within the Department 56, also sell for a lot of money. And don't discount them if they have any chips on them or something's a little broken. People will still buy them, they're just not going to buy them at the full price. And so it's a way for you to still be able to get something and sell it for a decent price. The White Castle one that I just sold was missing a couple lights on it, and it had a little chip, and it sold for $100. So for like a $5 pickup, that was a great flip, especially for one that had a little bit of flaws to it. And then last but not least is Lemax. So Lemax I always pick up because they're really collectible, for train building sets and for Christmas stuff. So like there'll be sets of like trees and that kind of thing, and people will buy them for their trains. And then they also make a lot of Christmas type stuff. And the Christmas ones, there's not a specific way I've been able to tell which one's going to be worth more without lensing it. They're not like the Department 56 where I can tell you look up this series over this series. But certain ones sell for more. For example, this bed and breakfast one right here is going for like $120 for it. So I actually, it's great condition. It has its light. It has the box. It has everything with it. So I know I'm going to get the higher end of it. And then the other ones are selling sometimes for like 60. So for me, it's no rhyme or reason. It's more or less what's harder to get a hold of as to which one will cost more for people. If there's less of them or more people are looking for a specific one, then that's going to drive the price up on them. But I paid $15 for these ones, which is worth it when it's going to sell for in the $100 range. I'm willing to pay a little up on those. And that's kind of the houses. On the lower end houses, any of the Hawthorne Village or any of the Mervyn's type ones, if they're broken or if they're kind of beat up, I leave them alone because they're just not as collectible. The only ones that are worth taking if they still have something broken or chipped is the Lemax in the Department 56. And leave me some comments. Let me know what you think, guys.